He was freed recently. No, hey, relax. Because now it's all official. Everything you say goes on file forever.
Is this yours? Yours?
Mine? Thank you, buddy.
So Colin Kaepernick, right?
Yeah, so...
Oh, I should even bring my tablets. We're gonna like look up like...
Yeah, facts and shit? Yeah, so this fact shit.
Yeah,
Jason's really good at that, too.
Oh, yeah.
On his phone and
well,
shit.
he has some conservative fact shit, so I don't know about that.
Yeah, he's looking at Fox News and Fox News.
And what do you look at? MSNBC?
So what we're doing is we are introducing our live podcast. So what we were talking about was.
Are we recording?
Yeah, it is recording.
Oh, I think it's been a recording since.
Yeah, it's been recording.
Awesome.
Yeah,
great.
You have your.
Great.
You have your proper voice, Jason. Oh, great.
What are you talking about? This is my regular voice.
Okay. Lots of things. Like we could talk about the Kaepernick stuff all over again. Like, one of the things that we were talking about was the argument that I kind of made. Not even an argument, because just to be clear about it, I side 100% with the actions of Kaepernick and what he did. I don't penalize him in any shape, way, or form. And I think in retrospect, people need to kind of like maybe look back at what he did and throw some credit there, because now this shit's violent and people are like, oh, it shouldn't have been violent, but when the motherfucker that was doing it in a peaceful manner was doing it, they were condemning him then. So the conversation that we were having was based on his previous workout, his tryout, that there were some things that his group weren't willing to do. And I was kind of telling Jason, like, I'm not 100% sure that he really wanted to come back to play. And the reason why I say that, as controversial as it may be, making sure that I know the fact that I'm 100% on his side, but just that I felt that if he really wanted to come back to play, he would have done whatever it was they were asking of him to do. And instead it felt like there was this like whole back and forth with his camp and the NFL, and they couldn't come into agreement, and it just didn't come into fruition, and he's still unemployed. I'm not even sure who, Jason or Julio, maybe you guys can check this out too, who even like set this trial.
Yeah, so the NFL set the trial up just as part of the settlement, that you'll have this trial just so you can have the opportunity to earn your employment. And what happened was he got a number of factors got put into place that was not standard to how combines and workouts are for any other person trying to get into or back into the NFL. And that's where the disparity comes into place. If Kaepernick would have received the traditional combine contract and agreement, would he have agreed to participate? And I think he would have. And that's with one of the things I would notice, that he couldn't bring his own private video crew, but the video crew was going to be from Nike. Nike is at every combine that has been around for the last 15, 20 years. But now this time you can't have that. NFL wanted to have their own private video filming crew. Another thing that they want him to compromise on is he wants to bring someone that he's comfortable with in receiving the ball, which is standard for every athlete. College athletes, they have their teammates receiving the ball when they throw it, but they said, no, we'll have someone who can receive the ball from you, which is a little suspect, because now you're having my career in the hands of someone I don't have rapport with, who might be dropping the ball intentionally for their own motives or initiatives. So when you put all that into play, I don't blame Kaepernick for making a fuss. And while I do agree that I don't think he really wanted to play, it didn't help his cause that there was so many roadblocks ahead of him.
But you see, at that point, you gotta, I don't know, man. Like you have an opportunity to play the game, to in a both literal and a figurative manner, play the game so that you could even use your platform even further in your activism. This is a missed opportunity in so many, not just in the fact that he missed an opportunity to play again, whether or not he missed it intentionally or whether or not it was unfair. However that may be, it's still a missed opportunity. But again, like if you have this strong political stance and you have an opportunity to get back into that system that allowed you to have that voice, because if you weren't in the NFL, you wouldn't have had that platform, right? Like no one's gonna listen to this and be like, oh my God, let's have some sort of a revolution and shit or whatever. And we're not on that level. We don't have that superstardom that can generate that sort of attention. And so I feel that he missed an opportunity to play the game, go into that corporate world and use it to his advantage. Instead, he was, all right, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that, and to me, it just seemed like he didn't want it that bad.
But do you think that it's even better that he went out like that? Because it's kind of like what Muhammad Ali did. Like they were like, you can't come into boxing without these details. And
Muhammad Ali did eventually box again.
Yeah, but in South
he
Africa,
missed a few years of his prime, but he eventually boxed.
Yeah, but
again.
he went outside of United States in order to box.
Yeah, but Kaepernick doesn't really have a choice to do that anywhere else. You can't really.
I mean, that's not entirely accurate.
At that level.
There's the Canadian Football League. There was the short-lived AAF.
Buddy, people are gonna really know who I am in these podcasts. Canadian Football League. What the fuck are you talking about right now, bro? This is a fucking America. You're talking about rugby or some. People are really gonna know who the fuck I am, buddy. Canadian Football League, buddy. Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense, buddy. No,
do you know who Doug Flutie is?
Flutie Flicks. You just fucking threw Flutie at me. This man just threw Flutie at me. But, Jesus Christ.
But back to the point where his whole premise of the cause was that he wanted fair and equal opportunities for everybody. Correct.
Right. Correct.
So shouldn't he be offered the opportunity to have a fair and equal chance to get back?
And who's the spectators? NFL owners, right?
Correct.
So if the NFL is pretty much playing you for you to fail, then all these owners are going to see that and they're like, we give him a fair trial and he missed the opportunity. He wasn't.
No, but at this point there will be video evidence from Nike. They'll show it to all the other 18, 22 teams that are left.
If
and
Nike
someone
was
else
allowed.
is gonna send them up.
If Nike was allowed, which they weren't, that's what Jason said, that they treated him unfairly to a certain extent. The only thing that I add to that is that, look, guys, we've all been in a position of leadership to one extent or another. We've all been in a corporate world. We've all played that role before. Okay, in that role, what I was telling Jason earlier is that when you do have a case of somebody, an individual, an employee, who we could, let's just for the sake of nature, let's pretend that Kaepernick is in Bank of America or in some sort of a corporate role, right? He might be deemed as an HR issue, right? For whatever, I know that the topic is very sensitive in nature, but he might be deemed as an HR issue. Somebody that constantly is defiant, going against the grain, whether or not is justifiable. And I'm not disagreeing with the cause, and in no shape or way would I say that he shouldn't do it. I'm just saying that from the corporate perspective, this is a defiant employee, right?
Yeah.
All right, so in an HR case, right, when you are, let's say, going about your day-to-day business, you're dealing, you're in a room with somebody that is very sensitive, that might seem to think that where you think like a regular fucking action is regular to you and to everybody else in that room, except for that one person that might be a little bit oversensitive. And now you kind of have to shape around like how you act, what you say, what you do when you're in the presence of that person kind of changes a little bit, because you are aware that that person might fire you or you might do something that might so you're like walking on eggshells, so to speak. And whether or not that's something that should happen is irrelevant. It does happen. People and so putting Kaepernick in that HR role, for example, or that HR case from an NFL perspective, I understand why when they're doing shit, when they're like signing him for a special deal, or when they're trying to give him a special tryout, I understand why they might be a little extra in how they do it and how they go about it. Because from a corporate perspective, this person might turn around and sue your ass.
So what you have to consider, Edgar, because what you just described in Kaepernick's situation and many different athletes in the NFL, is his conduct was conduct detrimental to the team. That is a specific language that they use for Kaepernick in the past.
That's fucked up.
And that's what they use for other athletes that get disciplinary actions. Now, let's take a football player that's caught on video for beating their wife, or caught on audio beating their child. Those athletes don't get special language and lingo put into their contracts when they come back.
Nope. And we just saw that in baseball with Urias. He just got a slap in the wrist and went back in.
I mean, yeah.
Don't you feel that is a bit worse?
So just because I understand it doesn't mean that, and because I agree with it doesn't mean that that's not what occurred. I'm just trying to explain to you what I feel happened. I don't agree with it. I don't think that that's like where it should have gone, but that's just, that's what I thought. That's what I felt happened. And I applied it in a everyday perspective so that we can try to like humanize it into a more understandable level from our non-superstardom. We in Inglewood, guys. So and what you're hearing right there is people getting shot, people partying, all kinds of cool shit.
So you can't normalize it when it's not even the standard in the same realm. Like, you have people that do tremendously worse, and they still are not hold to the same logistical loopholes that Kaepernick got put through.
All right, so let's change it up a little bit. We can talk about Kaepernick all fucking night long.
Yeah, let's actually talk about what I wanted to say in there.
And for the record, I applaud Kaepernick in every shape, way, or form. I do give him a little bit of criticism for not really being on his P's and Q's when it comes to the whole background of his cause and shit like that. But I'm pretty sure he's had time to tidy up his history and know. But I applaud him. The man, like, he literally risked his entire livelihood to prove a fucking point. A point that probably wasn't even affecting him as much as it affects his people on a regular basis.
And not a lot of people would have taken that risk.
And not a lot of people. There's a lot of people that don't take that risk, actually. That's why I feel that he's fucking badass for doing it. So, with that said, Drew Brees. No?
Drew Brees, but more so Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Let's talk Donald Trump.
So,
woo! That's man. Talk about this motherfucking orangutan.
yeah, we're definitely not going to get monetized with you cursing like this.
Oh, I can't cuss?
No, you can't do that on YouTube.
Really?
I don't know.
You can't.
So
they
I'm
review
pretty
it
sure.
and then you
All right,
get
so
demonetized.
Okay.
So this is the first one that we're doing, and I use the profanity is part of my everyday language, so I'll try to make sure that I keep it professional.
Man, just wait till you see that yellow check, that yellow money sign. You like, man, this is my fault.
All right, so X everything. We'll go back and edit. I guess me cussing.
So
whatever.
So what I was
We'll
thinking
figure it
about,
Yeah.
I thought about this a lot recently, especially the fact that it seems that Donald Trump is progressing, deteriorating when it comes to what he's saying as of late, even more than in past 3 years. I don't think he really wants to get reelected, and I think he's trying to talk the American people out of it. And it goes to recently he said about Drew Brees and how he shouldn't apologize and how he really hasn't taken a pro all American stance with the most recent events of George Floyd, Black Lives Matter,